is not enough for a young man. And I'm coming with statistics, coming with scripture, coming with receipts. Okay? Psalms 128:2. You shall eat the fruit of the labor of your hands. You shall be blessed, and it shall be well with you. Man, we're living in a daytime and hour where people are putting up a front. The cap is at an all-time high. That's what the young people say, no cap. That means don't front. Man, you can get sucked in to watching people that front and cap on social media, and the statistics don't line up with people showing this and trying to get you believe that they're living this lifestyle. You know, there's men and women out there that, you know, portray that they're living this high-end lifestyle, and actually, man, these people are living in cars. You know, they are getting evicted from place to place, and once you look deeper into them, you find out this is a lot of people that are scamming. You know, they portray this life, and then it's led up by them scamming, and then criminal records and things like this. Man, when we look at statistics for young adults or any young men and women between the ages of 16 and 19 work 24.1 hours per week. And you see, man, that's not gonna produce a lot of fruit. Man, there's a certain level of strength that you have at a young age that we're not seeing in a lot of these young men today. Man, there is some validity to when a woman says, "Man, these men are broke," and she is talking from a perspective of possibly entertaining a man that should have been able to have more fruit than he produced. But we're dealing with a lot of slothful men, and we're going to experience this more and more in the last days. So there is some validity in this. So ages 16 to 19, 24.1 hours per week. Okay? Age 20 to 24, work an average of 34.8 hours per week. 40 hours a week is not enough. Man, I'll tell you, you know, oftentimes you see me, I'm in the middle of like a lunch break or something and making these videos, but this is going on 17 years that I've worked, starting out from the age of 18, 55 hours plus a week, bare minimum, 55 hours plus. And, you know, it's not a wealthy lifestyle. You know, you're able to provide for your family, but, you know, that comes with, okay, you have to be willing to progress as a man. You got to think, a 19-year-old man that works 24.1 hours per week is going to want to entertain a woman, going to want the company of a woman. But what, working that little, if you're working hourly at some place, what can you really provide a woman as far as being a provider, a biblical provider? That's why I said a lot of us men, you got to focus your efforts on work producing fruit. That way you can get to the point, okay, now I'm qualified to be an adequate provider. But what happens is you have, you know, 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds that think they deserve, you know, this righteous and rare woman or this special woman, and you 24 hours per week is not enough to take care of yourself in this daytime and hour, in this climate, this society. And then age 20 to 24, you know, these women are going to find you out as a man. She looks at your profile. She thinks you got it going on. You got, you know, all of this nice stuff, you know, flashing your money, leading with your money, which I don't advise any man do. And then when you go out to take her out, Y'all didn't went on 2-3 days. Your car starts getting declined. Now she's looking deeper, but behind the scenes, you're only working 34.8 hours a week. Ages 25 to 54. This range gets a little bit deeper. Ages 25 to 54 work an average of 40.5 hours. And I'll tell you, man, at 34 years old, when we started our family business, I was 33 years old, and I was working 55 hours a week. And then after getting off work, after those days, I will put in another 4 to 5 hours, go to bed at 10 or 11, wake up at 5, and start all over again. And then on Sunday, Yom Day 1, put in another 10 hours of work just to get the business off the ground. And we successfully, all praise to the Most High Yah, made it through 1 year of doing business. You know, I'll tell you that in righteousness, the Most High Yah does not support the system that most people operate on. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 through 11, when I adopted this commandment right here and started obeying it, man, you don't realize how much more fruit you can produce as a man. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your Yah. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. You got to think, the standard is working 6 days. And I said it time and time again, man, when I incorporated Yom Day 1, first day, Sunday, and started working, like I've been able to accomplish more within 3 years of Sabbath keeping of when I was in Sunday sun worship and we was violating the commandments, transgressing the commandments, profaning the Sabbath. I tell you, you see that the righteous are not going to go without, but that has to come at an obedience of what the Most High Yah has outlined in this word to do. You have the writing on the wall that times are hard, and these people make it. I'm living in my car, living in my van, living in my truck videos, and they're trying to make it seem like this is something that everybody should do, but behind it. And I tell you, man, as a young man, you got young men out there, it's hard if that woman goes down to the court and files child support because you're not producing any fruit. And you can't be mad when she goes and finds a better provider that's really working. And this is why I say this thing, the part, when it comes to men, those who are righteous, I had my daughter when I was 23. Sundays where I'm just sitting around, how much more productivity you could have. And you'll realize that the set apart, the right faith with works, transgression. And it says faith. I have been a salary worker for almost working hourly. They cannot even deny the fruit that you are producing on the job. Why are we gonna hire somebody else off the street that doesn't have the time that you 45, you start hitting 50, sometimes 60 hours a week from the outside. But your work ethic has to be clock and sitting here figuring out when you're gonna get off and hide in the bathroom playing games. And man, I catch soldiers doing that all the time, and they got a long laundry list of stuff that they could be doing. Get elevated to this and hatred in your heart because you didn't do what you wanted to do. Working hourly, man, you want to make sure you get those hours in and strive to higher level position. And a lot of young men, you got to think, how much, who you leading working that little? Age 34. I mean, 34 hours a week for ages 20 through 24. How much leadership experience are you getting? One thing about leaders, man, leadership positions to hone in on your leadership skills. Enough. Full-time student. And when you're doing that, men, you cannot be laying down with the daughters of Zion, increasing their body count off of 24.1. Working for salary has its pros and security and efficiency, contrary to your health, contrary to your family. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand pros and cons to that people don't elaborate. You see what I'm saying? And then lastly, there is those who work for productivity. Shout out to the Covenant Homestead, general contractor. You know, working for productivity is in a whole nother lane, but oftentimes we don't learn that in the public school system. We learn, okay, go get a job, and then you land some 9 to 5 hourly job and barely tap 40 hours a week. And then you have the people that I'm not cutting a yard for less than $100. It doesn't matter if it takes me 15, 20 minutes to doggone to mow, edge, and blow that property. They work for productivity. What that means is a lawn guy is gonna specifically look for the clients that benefit him, okay? And he will have a bare minimum of $100 to even pull that lawnmower off the truck. So you got to think, how much productivity at that rate can he get done if he's driving through these residential neighborhoods where the houses is $200,000-300,000, and these houses don't have that much yard, but the people need to get their grass cut and generally are not the laboring type people. So he can go in one neighborhood, and if he clusters these routes, he can have $500 properties on one street, and each one take about 20 minutes because they all have the same size layout as far as yards. And then you have the people that don't understand productivity but are in business, and they're just taking all of these different jobs and running the price down. But productivity is going to be a way to go that sets you free. And I realize this. Productivity is going to be a way that sets you free if you can get into it. And this is why I encourage all of my brothers out there, man, if you have learned some kind of skill or trade on a job and you've been doing it for a while and you've seen the ups and downs of it, think about going into business for yourself, starting off small. Maybe you're somebody that's used to working 5 days a week. Start looking into, okay, I'm going to start off with just doing something pertaining to the skills that I have on 1 day a week, and I'm going to use Sunday, and I'm going to do handyman work. I'm going to line up these appointments. As a handyman, I got an $80 minimum, even for me to pull up. You see what I'm saying? A lot of line guys, their productivity is so good to where they don't even give free quotes. They charging $40 just to pull up and give a quote. And what that does is pays them for their time, where people are truly not looking for somebody and they're just shopping around. Had you driving all across town, and they're not going to do business with you because they're looking for the guy that will cut grass for a pack of Newports and some beer. that's the guy they're going to go with. So how do you get compensated for your time? And watching brothers like the Covenant Homestead, there's another guy that I watch, and in doing business for myself, product working for productivity is the way to go. I'm gonna tell you, you can look at a job, price of job, the materials, the time, the labor, and if you accomplish that job faster than what you anticipated, man, you're winning. You're winning. But that is an out of the box mentality. Oftentimes they're not teaching you that. They are teaching you in this system to go work for somebody else, to take this salary. And you got to look at a lot of high earning salary workers. Man, they're bringing work home. So when they're home, they're not even really home sometimes because you got to bring this stuff home. I've had to do that plenty of times. At this point in my career, I'm like, man, I'm not bringing no computer home. When I'm at home, that's time for my family and to continue to develop and make sure my family prospers. And all the years where my income was fixed and a salary, I was bringing my computer home, doing all this extra work. But in order to start my family business, I had to say, hey, I'm already giving them 55 hours a week. I'm gonna have to leave that work at work. It'll get done tomorrow. I've done what I can do today. And when I go home, spend that time, 4 or 5 hours, we was putting up fences, all kind of stuff, putting up kennels, insulating the building. I'm telling young men, 40 hours a week is not enough. And you have, I feel like you got men out there that are trying to raise a family. You got a man that's not. And when you see these videos of women saying, "Man, these men is broke," come on. These women have laid down and allowed men to put up in them, and these men cannot provide for themselves or the women or the children. So definitely take in consideration what I'm saying because, man, there's a lot you could be doing with your time. And playing Call of Duty 4, 5, 6 hours is not it when you can be answering the call of duty righteously as a man and getting out there working so the Most High Yah can bless the labor of your hands. See, the difference is this generation of men, I'm realizing this 18, 19, 20-year-old generation, they didn't have to do labor-intensive tasks. So everything is in their mind and driven by, okay, I'm entitled, I deserve it because my parents gave me so much based upon parenting me based upon what they didn't have. And they don't have the same work ethic. And that's why I'm making this video right here so you can doggone, hey, get to it. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, if you're one of these men, you're working 24 hours, 34 hours a week. If you're entertaining a woman and you're engaged in fornication, you just need to cut that off and put in some more work. Put in some more work. Because here's the difference. Man, when you are a true provider and you don't have no problem working abundantly, working enough to be able to actually provide for a woman and your kids, you're gonna experience a different level of woman. A lazy man is not gonna get a righteous, set apart woman. It just ain't gonna work like that. But you have what we have this day, time and hour, is a bunch of slothful men that don't want to work but think they're gonna get these good women. That's not the way that works. And when I say good women, I'm not talking about what the world calls as a trophy. I'm talking about a righteous, set apart, a woman that's a good foundation that to build a family with. So I hope this helps you out on your journey. Today is Yom Day 6, prep day. Thankful, man. When the sun goes down, we enter into the Shabbat and truly enter into that rest because we have been laboring. But I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking that thing gun barrel straight.